Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the Managing Director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. As the title of this video suggests, we're discussing K-1 visas. For those who are unaware, a K-1 visa is a fiancé visa. It allows an American citizen to bring a foreign fiancé into the United States. Now, generally speaking, we handle pretty much exclusively. I have a few outlier cases, but more and more I've focused just almost exclusively, and frankly, as the weeks and months go on, I'd like to focus only exclusively on visas emanating from Thailand, just because, and to kind of get into the meat of this video, different embassies do things differently. And trying to keep track of that from my perspective is rather difficult. Now, as an American immigration attorney that's based abroad, I have kind of a unique practice insofar as, I end up with kind of a, hesitate to use the phrase, but I guess there's really no other word. I end up with a kind of specialization in one particular country, if you will. Call it Thailand. Now, I've dealt with cases out of Cambodia, Laos, Myanmar over the years, a couple of cases out of the Philippines over the years, Singapore, Malaysia, but it's pretty rare. And more I'm finding there's almost kind of a differentiation, if you will, sort of the way there's a speciation sometimes in genetic evolution. I don't know if this is an apples to apples comparison, but with respect to different embassies and consulates, it seems like over time we've seen different posts kind of evolve different procedures that have resulted in wildly different ways of doing things. Now, on certain cases, you will see things kind of move in similar ways, but quite honestly, the cases I end up dealing with out here, they're all pretty difficult, frankly. They've got a lot of nettlesome problems in them for one reason or another. Sometimes we're dealing with waivers of admissibility. So for me, Thailand is kind of my focus and is increasingly becoming that way. Meanwhile, things are just different embassy to embassy. 221G procedures, for example, which for those who are unaware of what that is, we have other videos on this channel. Just go into our search function, write in 221G, the number 2, the number 2, the number 1, and G. You'll see a number of videos on what a 221G is. Different embassies deal with those very, very differently. And for that reason, it's rather hard to know exactly what an embassy is going to do. Now, meanwhile, you've got different officers. They're constantly kind of moving around. So there is something to be said for, the officer that's adjudicating cases at any given time within an embassy may have some influence over how the process works overall. It's been my experience, though, that from a pure processing standpoint, local officers, folks that are full-time and always on the ground in a given post, they very much sort of set the guidelines, if you will, or sort of set the tone, if you will, with respect to how cases process. So again, from jurisdiction to jurisdiction, you're going to be dealing with different on-the-ground rules. Now, in a Thai immigration context, anybody that's ever dealt with Thai immigration will totally understand this concept. From province to province in Thailand, you're kind of dealing with different interpretations of the administrative rules. Now, you get up to the nation-state level and you're talking country to country. Again, it's similar, where different places are going to administer different administrative rules differently. And for that reason, you end up with this situation where, quite frankly, a case will process in one jurisdiction very differently than it would process in another one, notwithstanding the fact that in this case, and for the purposes of this video, they're still all K-1 visas.